Welcome.
Welcome to See You Next Thursday. I'm Willow, this is Tree, and we are Pixie Retreat. And we are talking today about the Medical Medium's 369 Liver Cleanse, which we are on the third day of.
Found in this book.
We've done this cleanse a series of times, but we actually haven't done it in the last 2 years. So it's been a stretch. So we both felt like we would benefit greatly from doing this cleanse, just giving our livers a little break, getting out some toxins, depuffing, and just like getting rid of any kind of brain fog or sluggishness or fatigue. And I have to say that we are on day 3 and I am feeling pretty energized.
Yeah.
And the first 3 days, the crux of the first 3 days, because it's in 3-day blocks. So day 1 to 3, day 3 to 6, or 4 to 6, days 7 to 9. And the first 3 days, you cut out bad crap like bad oils, dairy, meat, pork specific. It's eggs,
sugars, just
alcohol. You're cutting out all of this kind of
troublemaker
stuff. Troublemaker foods, which you can learn about in the book, and we'll talk about them. And then you can take in some fat, but only the last meal of the day. So
50% of your normal amount.
Yeah, so you're cutting your fat intake in half and getting rid of the troublemaker foods. So we are on day 3, and I feel pretty energized. The first day I had a lot of resistance, the first morning, but as soon as we got into it, it was like, it's nice where we are. So it's like 85 degrees today, so it's easy to just take in a lot of fruits and vegetables.
And you're definitely drinking lemon water, celery juice,
smoothies.
We're drinking the heavy metal detox smoothie.
We'll go into the liver rescue smoothie as well.
And feel totally satiated. Yes, there's cravings for fat. Me specifically, avocado.
Me specifically,
cheeses,
anything.
A little sweet in there.
Yeah.
Some kind of decaf coffee maybe with some nut milk or tea.
I'm missing, it's like I am missing a little bit of the fat, but like because we've been able to have fat for the first 3 days, this is the last day we'll be able to have any fat, I have not felt that resistance that I had the morning that we started. It's just, I don't have it at all right now.
And then after that, there's just so many, apples and big salads, and
we will eat
steamed veggies and potatoes and it's a lot of food, fruits and vegetables, and potatoes being the starchy thing, but there's not a lot of salt for one.
Yeah.
There's no oil. There's no fat, so whereas you may be eating a big bowl, it might be a little bland.
Yeah.
So, and that's the part that you might feel that your cravings kick in. Mm-hmm. But in terms of hunger levels, you can eat as many.
Yeah, you can eat as
much.
Like
you can eat so much vegetables and big salads and lots of apples and. Sounds good, right? It actually is good.
By the time we're done, it's each one. The apples are a big part of it. Like you start in the day, like you're in the first part of the day, you have to have an apple. By the middle of the afternoon, you have to have 2 apples and 4 dates. And then after dinner, if you want something sweet, you can have an apple. Okay, so there's that. So you're eating a lot. So each one of us, if we follow this completely, we will eat 21 plus apples a piece.
But the biggest perk for me, and the reason why I love this cleanse, is because it's literally the one thing that we've done that I can guarantee that works for me, that lifts my mood, that I legitimately commit to. Because when we go out and buy the haul of fruits and vegetables and produce specifically that doesn't last for very long, we're committed to eating it. And yeah, of course we want to sabotage within the first 3 days. That's natural, I think.
I think for me, the first 3 days, I haven't felt like sabotaging. I have a feeling it'll be between 4 and 7 because at that point there'll be no fat. We've gotten to eat a little bit of fat in the first 3 days, and I love fat. I do, I love it. And so it's something I know that I probably take in too much. And I was really surprised when I read this book, because my whole life I've heard there's good fats and bad fats. But then I read this book, and where there are good fats and bad fats, unfortunately, the liver does not discern between the two of them. It's just fat, and so it's like we need to give our livers a break so that it can cleanse and not be overridden, which can lead to different kinds of diseases and ailments. So. And we live in a country where I know we've talked about this before. It's this fatty liver disease and a sluggish liver it's becoming a very normal thing. So even when people think they're eating really healthy. So
Well,
it's just.
most of us have a sluggish liver.
Yeah.
And there's ways to work with it. And the liver rescue cleanse, it's awesome because it works, and it's a whole.
How has it worked for you? Like when you say
For
that
me,
it works, like what are you
It helps
expecting
me
to get from
it
it
helps
when
me
you're
to
done?
shift my thinking.
Okay.
It helps me it lifts my mood. If I commit to it, I feel more natural in my skin. I feel my body kind of fall into its natural state, where right now I'm definitely feeling bloating. I have a Vata constitution, and so as much as I love raw foods and I will always eat them, I have digestive stuff so the steamed stuff is sometimes easier on my digestion. However, we're not doing the advanced cleanse that's all raw. It's mostly raw, the original, and the steamed potatoes really are good for my digestion, and the steamed asparagus and Brussels sprouts really good for my digestion.
I guess the fat just kind of slows everything down. Like the minute you start to add fat in, you're cutting into the detox. The liver it's no longer getting this break and getting to detox out all of these toxins that, I mean, any medications that we're taking, any processed foods that we're eating, products that we're using. Like I just read that if you use spray tan is basically suffocating your liver, because our skin is our largest organ, and it's one of the ways that we excrete and that we draw in. And when we coat it with spray tan, it's like we are suffocating the liver. It is so crazy.
There's so many toxic things when you say that you're just walking through, you're outside and
yeah, like say somebody
just
had their yard done, and they just had herbicides and whatever stuff to get rid of weeds has just been sprayed on your lawn.
So this is part of the cleanse that really helps to soothe your liver, basically, and to give your liver the room to do its thing without backing up, and it's pretty magical. I love it. I love it more than juice cleansing that we've done in the past. The water cleanse is really hard. And I like it because, like I said, you're eating
the whole time.
You're chewing.
You're constantly eating.
The last day, day 9, there's no chewing involved. It's all smoothies and things like that. But that part makes me feel happy because I feel a shift in my brain, basically, when I'm focused on being successful at it. If I focus on what I'm wanting that's not in the cleanse, like vegan cheese, for example, then I don't feel good. But when I focus on the way I'm feeling when I'm doing the cleanse and what we're going to eat and like preparing the food, because there is a lot of food prep, that makes me feel happy. And then, of course, every day as we go along, I feel lighter and lighter, I think, in my being and in my body. So it's cool. There is a lot to it. There is a lot of food prep, but you can get ahead of it a little bit, get ahead for maybe a day and then have some as backup and then do it again, re-up, because you are taking in a lot of greens, fruits.
I mean,
herbs.
What we stocked up on, we bought a ton of bananas, a bunch of Brussels sprouts, asparagus, some potatoes, some papaya, spinach, romaine, cucumbers, blueberries,
grape tomatoes,
I'm trying to
apples,
think. Tons of apples,
cilantro.
oranges, So it's like there's quite a bit of produce that we're going to move through, and it's pretty exciting. And the cool thing, it's called the 369 because the number 3 is really important to the liver. Every 3 years, beginning at the age of 3, our liver does its own natural detox. And each of those years, it's specific on the level of the liver that it's working on. So there's the surface of the liver, there's the subsurface of the liver, and then there's the core. And each year, so at the age of 3, you detox on that surface level. At the age of 6, on the subsurface level. At the age of 9, at that inner core where the most hardcore toxins are being held. And that moves throughout your life. So you can look back and say, oh my gosh, or look forward actually and say, my liver is going to naturally be detoxing on, I guess 45 is one of the years. I can't remember which level it is, but you can kind of get ahead of it and then work with your liver in that year, to really age yourself.
You can really do a reboot of your
and
liver.
if you get into this book, I highly, highly, highly suggest checking this book out. It's so interesting. The Liver Rescue book by the medical medium Anthony William. The really cool thing is that this book really talks about all the different diseases that are out there and how the liver is involved in them and what it's doing for the body. So you can really begin to understand all of our organs are really important. And you can truly begin to understand how incredible the liver is and what it's doing for the body as it's removing toxins.
There's even simple things you can do as kind of holding where your liver is and just telling it how much you love it. Seriously, that self-talk extends beyond our mind, goes into our organs.
It was also really interesting when I was reading this book. I was having a very challenging time the first time I read it. I was moving through a challenging time in my life, and one of the things that blew me away is that our liver is where it's an anger point. And so a lot of times in a detox or even with an overburdened liver, it's like just anger will just be coming out of nowhere with somebody. And it often means that they probably need to do some sort of a liver detox because this particular area is a central area around anger in our bodies. Mm-hmm. So the book is fascinating. This cleanse is altering. And another really cool thing is that like I said, we haven't done it in 2 years. So here we are doing something not necessarily new, but doing it anew.
And
which is doing something new and different, which is how you change your life.
You change.
Yeah, you change.
So we are working to change habits,
beliefs,
behaviors, and shift. And so wake up and do something different in the morning, drink some lemon water, you're making a change.
Yeah.
We're doing this because 9 days
out of your life is really not a lot to do, give your liver a break and to feel better.
And there's other cleanses that can carry forward that can be more sustainable, which can go on and on and on, and those are really exciting with just 30 days, adding in a little bit of fat here and there.
There's the 28-day cleanse, which we've also done, is really good. And you seriously eat the whole time. You just really, I think the only fats that you take in with that one are avocado and tahini are the only 2 fats, and they're very minimal. But there's so many great recipes, and there's so many ways, like some of the recipes didn't really work for me, but there's ways to tweak them without making them, without skewing them, without doing something that's going to take them off the path of what it is you're doing.
We've tried nearly all of the recipes, and
some
of them are not very good, and some of them are really good.
Yeah.
And some you can play around with and make them better. But the premise is really good. Some of you look at and you see a picture of chopped zucchini that's been steamed, and that's the recipe. It's not.
That was all okay. That was not my
oil,
favorite.
but it is exciting, and there are so many really cool.
I mean, I feel
concepts.
excited right now, but I also feel really chill. Do you feel really chill?
Yeah, we've been exercising. We've been getting up early and meditating and doing some yoga, and then getting our celery juice on, and heavy metal detox, lemon water, hibiscus tea. Also, then going outside and doing some physical activity outside, or lifting weights, going to the gym, going for a swim, getting some vitamin D, then getting some work in the day, and then doing some stretching later on, and then working later into the evening, because the energy is up, even though I do feel chill at the same time.
Yeah, I feel really chill. But yesterday I just had a spring cleaning day, which was not super normal for me. It's something where it's like it has to be on the calendar, blah, blah, blah. But I just did it. It was interesting. And my energy level was in a place where I felt like that was a really important thing to do yesterday.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody appreciates that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so let us know if you've done this cleanse, and we're going to share some of our experiences of the cleanse next video. And also, it's why we haven't been posting any
food
videos later. We'll shortly get back to that. We've just been focused on getting ready to do our own detox, and we'll share more information about it, but we'll get back to sharing recipes, of course. And also, we've been creating digital courses for our website, pixieretreat.com. So
we've been taking all of we're starting to create a library on our website of all of the recipes that we did for our cafes and for our wholesale business in Portland, Oregon. So that's what's going on the website. And meanwhile, now we're doing this cleanse that we wanted to document.
Just to kind of get centered again and get focused.
It's a reset. It's like a reset. And resets are really, really good. They help you to bust through obstacles, come up with new ideas.
We just finished a 90-day practice of the Subak Kriya. And then we started the cleanse. And when we commit to lengths of time for a practice, good things always come our way, unexpected. And so,
but also it's like when you're doing something for a length of time, you're accumulating. There's this accumulation of energy, of radiance, of magnetism. It's like something's building. And so doing a meditation for 90 days or 120 days or even 40 days, whatever, it's a powerful practice. And like Teresa was saying, something magical always happens at the end of it.
And it's not why we do it. It's just a nice bonus.
It just feels good.
Yeah.
No, for me, I've said it before, it's like eating. It feels good. When something makes me feel good, I keep going to it. Don't you guys? When something makes you feel good, you move to, and we have negative things in our lives that we've moved towards because for some period of time they made us feel good, and then maybe they didn't. We have to move away from them. And then something like this 369 cleanse is a really great way to do this reset kickstart, to move maybe away from some of these habits that are no longer working and create some new ones that are more powerful.
It's just a really positive practice to give a shot, and a personal shot. And we're just sharing some of the things that really work for us, that we cycle through, that help us to stay even.
And feel good in our skin.
And communicate better.
Totally.
And feel more joy.
Yeah.
And appreciation, and also more positive. And so anything that can help to bring that our way, to kind of remove the noise that's around us and the negative chatter that might be coming our direction, to fill ourselves with something positive that helps our own being. Anything that helps to even you out, helps to make you feel better. Follow the lead. That's what we're doing. That's what we're sharing here at See You Next Thursday. And by next Thursday, we'll have just wrapped up this cleanse, and I'm sure we'll continue to carry bits of it forward. So we'll see you next Thursday too.
Thanks for joining us. And if you liked this video, please hit that like button and subscribe, and check out pixieretreat.com for our digital courses.
And check out the Liver Rescue Cleanse
Yeah.
369. Next week we'll be sharing some more deets on how we be feeling.
Yeah. And just more things about the book, because the book is just it for a while it was like a Bible for me.
It still is.
Anyway,
Get you some.
see you next Thursday.